Hey guys, what's up? It's RagesSorrow here, and welcome to another boss vlog. I've got a few things that I want to talk to you guys about, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So the first thing that I wanted to make mention of was the Elemental and Rare drop table reworks that Jagex released yesterday on January the 12th, 2015. The monster is mainly affected by their drop tables being changed for the Water Fiends, Dust Devils, Ice Fiends, Ice Warriors, Jellies, Hyrae Fiends, Killerwatts, and Aqua Knights. Now the rare drop table has actually gotten some love too, such as with them removing the 100 silver ore drop, as well as removing the pure essence drops and stuff like that. So it actually makes it a lot better to actually get items from that. Not only that, they've also increased the quantity that you'll actually receive of certain items, such as the noted battle staffs. Normally you would receive under 100 of those, or around 100 of those. You can actually receive over 100 to 150 of those. So that's actually really good. Now another thing that I actually noticed in the other news section of the update post that they actually made changes to was Araxxor. And this is something I'll get to here in just a second. Now in addition to that, they've also made it to where you actually don't have to wait to access clan features once you join a new clan, but they've also made it to where you have to wait 7 days until joining a new clan. So that's actually not too bad. Now, the main things that have changed with the Araxxor boss fight are that players may no longer log out once Araxxor spawned. So, a lot of players, instead of actually fighting the version of Araxxor that they were going to do bad against, they would actually spawn a new one. And to do that, you would just log out, and it just made it stupid. It just made it to where it was too easy for you to be able to do that. So they've changed that now. However, you are still able to log out on Araxxor if it's doing its web shield and you're no longer in combat with it. So the easiest way to do this, let's say you get the melee spawn and you've burned down the web and you're still killing it on phase 1. When it goes into its web shield, you can run up to the top of the platform on phase 2 or into the next section of either of these areas, and you can then X-log. So that'll bring you right out of the boss fight. You won't have to waste too many supplies or anything like that, so it's not bad. Another thing that they've changed is Araxxor's enrage counter now raises 20% per kill instead of 15, and it's now capped at 300%. Now, this is actually really good because it basically makes it to where it's a lot harder to camp it. It's still possible to camp it all the way up to max rage and still get kills at max rage. The main difference is you can't make any mistakes. So you can't get cleaved, because if you get cleaved you're obviously dead. You can't hit the web shield, because if you hit the web shield even at 200% rage, you're going to be taking heavy damage even if you hit a low hit on him. So you're basically going to have to let him heal at that point. It's going to make the boss fight longer, but you're more than likely going to get the kill because you're not going to die. Now, to kind of offset this, Araxxor now drops a new item which can reset the enrage counter. And by having this in your inventory, it increases the chance of spawning the combat style weaker to the equipped style by up to 95%. So, versus a 33% chance that you're going to get the spawn that you want without the item, and going with, oh, I'm actually going to get the spawn that I want 95% of the time, the other 2.5% of the time I'm going to get a bad spawn, is actually really helpful. Now the item that does this is the Araxxor pheromone, and I actually tested this out on my live stream yesterday. For those of you that didn't catch that, it was actually really fun, because getting the correct spawn is pretty much everything. And the best part about this is, as long as you're getting the correct spawn, it's going to make that whole rage increase very minute. Because if you're wearing really good range gear, like if you're wearing Sirenic or if you're meleeing using Malevolent, it's going to basically make the range hits and the mage hits pretty much be deflected most of the time. You're not going to take as much damage from it because you're wearing the best armor. Now, when you actually do get hit, it's going to hit for a lot, but it's not going to be as significant. So that's actually something really cool. Now another thing that you can actually do with the Araxxor pheromone, which I don't actually recommend doing, is you can release the pheromone at any time during the fight, and it will return Araxxor's rage counter down to 0. So basically what can happen is you can get all the way up to 300% rage, release the pheromone, and then on that kill, you're dropped back down to 0 for the remainder of your kills until you get back up to the 300%, which is actually pretty cool. It kind of offsets it, but at the same time, it's not as significant. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend actually releasing the pheromone. I would recommend that you actually keep it in your inventory for the remainder of the kills, because it's just going to be as simple going forward. Another thing that they actually changed for Araxxor is the Sirenic scale drop has been increased to 2 pieces with a chance of a 3rd rather than 1 or 2. So that's definitely a cool thing that they've added there. And actually something that I'm kind of happy that they did, because when you got 1 Sirenic scale, it didn't really pay for the supplies that you used. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that I actually wanted to talk about, there are 2 things that I wanted to go ahead and make mention of. In the background, I'm actually doing Rise of the Six. But I'm actually doing it with some friends, and we are doing it a pretty awkward way. It's not the fastest method, but we do get some pretty quick kills on it. And it's actually kind of hilarious how it goes. Because what we ended up doing, instead of running away from Carol's bombs like some people do, we'll actually jump inside the bomb and go over to the other side like you saw me do there. And once you're on the other side, you weaken the brothers down on that side and wait for the other 3 brothers to hop over. Once the other brothers have hopped over, you pretty much just destroy each of them one by one, and it's absolutely hilarious. And I actually did it on live stream as well, and we basically referred to this as the Rots Gangbang. And the reason being is because you're ganging up on them 4 versus 1, and their life points just get decimated. Like, you've probably watched it throughout the entire video. They just get annihilated, and it's absolutely hilarious. So, onto a very important thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is probably going to piss off a lot of people. It's probably going to make a lot of you unsubscribe, but at this point, I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and I really don't care. And not to say that I don't care about my subscribers. I just don't care to the point if it's gonna piss you off, because if you're gonna get pissed off, you know, that's just your thing. You'll unsubscribe. You'll go watch somebody else. That's not really a problem to me. But what I'm actually doing is I'm actually canceling the Gifts from the Gods series. The reason being is because there's not enough support for it, and there's no feedback. Now, recently I released a 10-hour loot video of Nihil's, and somebody actually made the suggestion that I do 10 hours of Muspus, which I'm actually going to do that, because that actually sounds like fun, because it's going to be, I'm actually going to get quite a few kills on the Muspus, so I'm going to end up getting quite a bit of money out of that, and I can't wait to show you guys on that. I've already started on it, so we're good to go there. But as of right now, it's discontinued. I will start it back up at a later time if I can get a good enough following to support it and provide ideas. But that's the end of the video at this time, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, click that subscribe button, and leave some video suggestions down in the comment section below. But as always, I've been RagesSorrow, teaching you to work smarter, not harder. Peace.